What's up, everybody? It's Ethan here, back on the trail again, finally. It's been a little while since the last time I got to hike. It's been snowing like every day up in the mountains throughout the entire month of November, pretty much. And now today is December 1st, and it's a bluebird day up here in Golden Gate Canyon State Park near Black Hawk, Colorado. Today I'm doing an awesome hike. I've done it once before but didn't get a video of it. This is the Burrow Trail. All the trails here in Golden Gate Canyon are named after different animals. There's the burro, the mountain lion, raccoon, black bear, grouse, and it's a very big series of interconnected trails. Big trail system out here. Take you all over the park. And today I will be hiking to one of the tallest points in the park, Windy Peak. It's about 9,200 feet at the summit, so it's not crazy tall, but it's tall enough that on this cold December morning it's going to be quite the experience for sure. It's about 30 degrees right now and pretty windy, and I only expect that to get more intense the more I go up. And I did bring my micro spikes because I'm definitely anticipating a good amount of snow and ice on the trail today. But it's still a beautiful day for being December, and I can't wait to show you guys this awesome hike. Alright, so the trail starts out with some steep switchbacks heading up from the trailhead, and it mellows out a little bit but still goes uphill. Hasn't really been any flat sections yet, but been rewarding me with great views the whole time. So by the way, there are actually two routes to access Windy Peak, both starting back at that trailhead. That's called the Bridge Creek Trailhead. And the first way, which is the way I'm doing, is to just take the Burro Trail, which is a loop. And it's about a 6.5 mile loop. And right in the middle of the Burro Trail, there's a little spur trail that's about another half a mile that takes you up to the summit of Windy Peak. And so basically, if you take that route, it's about 7 miles round trip, and you're looking at about 1,600 feet of elevation gain. Or sorry, I meant 1,800 feet of elevation gain. And then the other way is you also start at the Bridge Creek Trailhead, and you take the Burro Trail till it connects with the Mountain Lion Trail, and then take that up to where it reconnects with the Burro Trail, and then hit that spur trail and go up to the summit of Windy Peak, and then back down the same way you came. So one way's a loop, one way's out and back, and the out and back one is about 6 miles. And that one's a little less elevation gain. It's like 1,500 feet. But I want to do the loop today, so that is what I'm doing. And I just can't get over the bluebird day. There really hasn't been one of those up here in the mountains for a long time, so it's nice. Gone up a little bit more, and look at that view. Really cool. Even if you don't hike the whole trail, the Burro Trail has great views for most of it. It's been over 2 years since I've hiked this last, but I know there are some sections closer to the summit that are heavily forested, but other than that, you get really great views most of the trail. Alright, so right here where this random glove is you can see there's a sign for the mountain lion trail continuing straight, or Windy Peak, the Burro Trail to the right. So I forgot about this, but on the Burro Trail, right after you pass that intersection, you go down about 400 feet in altitude, like just like that, very quickly. It's a very steep section. So keep that in mind when you're picking whether you want to do the Burro or the mountain lion trail, or which direction you're trying to do the Burro Trail in, because I think I might take the mountain lion trail back down, because I do not want to go back up that on the way back to the trailhead. On a cool note though, finally starting to see some snow. Not much, but a little bit. Also, one thing you'll notice about Golden Gate Canyon is there's a lot of aspen trees here. This trail in particular doesn't have like too many of them, but there are quite a few trails with a lot of aspen trees, and that makes this a great place to hike in the fall. It's probably the closest area to Denver where you can really see some beautiful Rocky Mountain fall colors, all the aspen trees changing. So if you live in Denver, Golden Gate Canyon is definitely a good spot for a fall hike. Look at the views from up here on the Burro Trail. I'm about 1.5 miles from Windy Peak right now, maybe 1.25 miles. Still got about 700 to 800 feet. I think about 800 feet of elevation gain. Lots of cool rock formations up here on the trail. Just went through a bunch down over there. And then of course still getting great views of the rest of the park. The trail has gotten very steep though. Been doing some really steep switchbacks. And it's definitely getting to the tougher parts of the hike. But it feels so good to be out here. Getting a great view looking east right now. You can see those foothills, and then beyond that, the plains. And you can't see downtown Denver from here. I think that hill right there is blocking it. But getting great views of a lot of the Denver metro from up here, which is really cool. We're definitely getting up there and still climbing. The trail, like I said, it's been pretty steep for a while, and I don't think it's going to let up anytime soon. But I believe I'm less than 1 mile away from the summit now, so I'm getting there. So I've been hiking in the forest for a while. Pretty thick pine forest back here. Nice change of scenery. You can see they still got the trail mark. That's the sign for the Burro Trail. This trail though is it's killing me, because it's like you gain a bunch of elevation and then you lose some, and then you gain some more and then you lose some. Been going like steadily downhill now for like 1/4 mile. Just seems like there's a lot of ups and downs on this trail. It's not just a straightforward, uphill climb the whole way. But either way, we have to climb 1,500 feet of elevation between the trailhead and the summit, so, or sorry, 1,800 feet between the trailhead and the summit. So I just got to another trail intersection, and I'm 0.7 miles from Windy Peak and 0.4 miles from the intersection with the Mountain Lion Trail. So that's where the Mountain Lion Trail reconnects with the Burrow Trail. And as you can see, I'm 2.6 miles from Bridge Creek where I started. Alright, I made it back to the intersection with the Mountain Lion Trail. So if you're taking the Mountain Lion Trail up to Windy Peak, this is where it will reconnect. And that's the Mountain Lion Trail going down that way. And that's the Burrow Trail where I came from. And now this trail, I believe this is still part of the Burrow Trail, heads up another 0.4 miles to the summit of Windy Peak. It looks like this is both the Burrow and the Mountain Lion Trail, though, that go to the summit of Windy Peak. They share the same trail, I guess. But either way, not too far off. Another 0.4 miles to the summit. It's getting colder and windier, so I'm sure the conditions on the summit are going to be pretty insane. But I can't wait to see those beautiful views. Alright, welcome to the summit of Windy Peak. 9,215 feet. Look at those views. Absolutely incredible. There's Tremont Mountain, that's the tallest point in Golden Gate Canyon. And let me tell you something, Windy Peak is earning its name today. It is really windy up here. Awesome. Man, what an awesome hike. So beautiful. And the sun is shining. I'm getting great views of the Continental Divide behind me. Couldn't ask for a better day, guys. Wow. Really cool stuff. Look at all those peaks in the Continental Divide out there. Tons of snow. And then Tremont Mountain over there, a little over 10,000 feet. Alright guys, so I'm going to turn the video off for a second. I got to put my gloves back on because it is freezing cold up here. But I'm going to enjoy it. I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, well I'm heading off the summit, and man was it cold and windy up there. It's very different conditions from the trailhead. It's probably about 22 degrees with 20 to 25 mile an hour winds. I mean, the wind chill was definitely below zero, so I'm glad I brought all this warm gear, because I definitely needed it, because I wanted to spend a little bit of time up on the summit, and this was absolutely necessary to be up on the summit for any more than like 30 seconds, so I'm glad I brought it. But I'm heading back down the trail now. It's very rocky, icy, snowy in this section, but it's only for another probably third of a mile that it's like this, and then it'll kind of mellow out. But once I get to the intersection with the Mountain Lion Trail, I'm going to actually turn left to go on the Mountain Lion Trail and take that back to the Bridge Creek trailhead. So I'm taking a different way back. Just hiking down the mountain lion trail, enjoying the views from the other side of Windy Peak. By the way, I will warn you, this trail's pretty steep. I think the mountain lion trail is a bit more of a direct route up to Windy Peak, but the park seems to recommend that you take the Burrow Trail, and I can kind of understand why. Like I said, this route is more direct, but it's also a lot steeper, so it's good to go down, but I could imagine this would kind of be a pain in the ass to hike up. But as they always are, the views are beautiful out here. Try to move down here a little bit because I think you can see some of those snow-capped peaks. Yeah, look at that. Really cool stuff. Hiking through some really cool terrain right now. A little different from the rest of the trail. Very nice. And this part of the trail has been pretty mellow. Just a gentle downhill. It was very steep for a while, but it's definitely mellowed out. And I should be getting fairly close to Forgotten Valley, little scenic area along this trail. There's also a little lake or pond or something I saw on the map that you hike by. Alright, well there's that little pond that I saw on the map. Not much to it, but I bet you if you came out here at sunrise or sunset, it'd be a good place to spot some wildlife. Especially in the warmer months, because as you can see, it's totally frozen over right now. But even in the wintertime, animals gotta drink water. And this park definitely does have a good variety of wildlife. There's moose and elk, deer, black bears, a few mountain lions. So you definitely have the potential to see some cool wildlife out here. So this is the Tollman Ranch out there. I think that's a cabin that you might be able to rent. I'm not sure, but I know there's a trail this trail right here goes right up to it. But here's the pond. Like I said, completely frozen over. So it is wintertime, so none of these aspens have their leaves, but this is what I was talking about, coming out here for the fall colors. This area there's a huge aspen stand here, and that would be pretty incredible to see when the leaves are changing. I keep telling myself I want to come out here for a fall color hike, but I always end up picking something different. Alright, so I hiked through Forgotten Valley, and I didn't record anything because there really wasn't all that much to it. It was more just like forest than anything else. The area before it with the pond and and some of the more open meadows was a lot more excuse me, a lot more scenic, I think. But anyway, I just passed the intersection with the Burrow Trail. So I'm on the Burrow and Mountain Lion Trail, and then you can see right here The Mountain Line Trail goes this way to Knott Creek, and then the Burrow Trail goes back to Bridge Creek, 0.6 miles away. So I'm almost there. Okay, well there's the road right there, called Drew Hill Road. And that of course means that I am back at the trailhead. This was an awesome hike. Very beautiful. Beautiful views on almost the whole trail. And if you take the route that I took, which combines the Burrow Trail and Mountain Line Trail for a partial loop, it's about 8 miles round trip and about 1,800 feet of elevation gain up to the summit of Windy Peak, which once again is 9215. So really cool hike. Great idea for a hike that's, really gets you back in the backcountry, but you're still very close to the Denver area. And I had a lot of fun today. Just remember to dress warm. It is winter and it's cold. And speaking of it being winter, I'd also like to point out that I only saw about 6 other people on the trail today. And during the summertime, this park gets very crowded. Sometimes it's even hard to get a parking spot at the trailheads. So it was nice exploring this park when there's, hardly any people here. The snow and ice and cold scares a lot of people off for sure. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It's awesome when people subscribe to my channel, and I as always got some more trips coming up soon. Hopefully some really cool ones in the near future here. Some more Colorado stuff and getting out to the desert in Utah and Nevada, Arizona, all those places to do some desert hiking out there. And until then, I'll see you guys on the next one.